back to Boss Talk 843 Reacts, the place that's going to get you the best dang reaction every single dang time. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing videos of different reasons why I left America. And when I show you these videos, it's going to kind of sum up why I wound up in Ghana with my family. And I'm glad my wife is on the same page as on me. Actually, I got on the same page as her because it was her idea first. But I'm glad we made this move. And these videos I'm going to show you is when we saw stuff that was going on in Africa, it kind of let us know, like, you know, this is probably where we need to be. Then we started looking at the situations of stuff in America, and it kind of let us know, hey, it's time to get on out of there and just start over somewhere else. So I want you guys to watch these videos, and I hope it triggers something in your mind to let you guys know that America is not the place for people that look like us. And I tell you that, you know, like some people are content with it, and some people are doing very well. But for the majority, it's just we in that rat race, and it's not a way to live your life as you get older. So watch these videos, and I'll be right back, all right? But first, please like and subscribe to the page, and also hit that ding bell button for your boy so you get all the newest notifications when I drop videos, all right? All right now.
Here are some news from Africa that you will not see in the mainstream media. The back of the brain of Africa is awake, so much that the European citizens that used to reside there are currently being flown out by their governments. The mouth of Africa is also currently speaking up, so much that the son of the sailing colonizer in South Africa that owned a Zambian mine near Lake Tanganyika is crying. Inside is Twitter toy. The eye of Africa, on the other hand, is still partially blind due to such journalists who are still twisting the African narrative for the colonizer. But all in all, 99% of Africans are currently very happy and highly energized by the ongoing revolution all over Africa. Indeed,
normally when an election takes place, somebody wins that election, they are able to then go and perform that job, right? Well, that's not the case in New Bern, Alabama, a very small rural town where a black man by the name of Patrick Braxton won the job of being the mayor. Now, he said that he simply filled out the paperwork and submitted it, and he won because he was not contested. Now, I should say, normally how the mayor is selected in that job is that the job was just handed down, right? Now, let me explain something else to you. In New Bern, there's about 275 people, very small town, okay? 85% of those people are black. And so that's like a no-brainer, right? That you would think, oh, okay, well, maybe if a black person is running, they would win. But as I said, that job was normally passed down from one white person to another. So if there are 275 people living in that town, 85% of them are black, that roughly means about 45 of those people are other than black. Probably white, right? Okay, so if you're following where I'm going, that is ran like a plantation. All right, and so Mayor Braxton has said that he has been literally locked out of town hall. He said that they, the old administration, would change the locks and he would have them changed so he can get in, and they would change it so it's just back and forth to the point where he can't even get in. He says that he cannot get the mail, nothing about the finances. He's just been totally locked out. Now, he won in July of 2020. Here we are 3 years later, and he is still not able to serve. So he has filed a civil rights lawsuit against the old administration, who basically just reappointed themselves, right? And that was led by, I should say, Mayor Haywood Woody Stokes III. He's the old mayor, and I guess he was like, well, I want my job back. Now, they said that his council consists of 3 white people and 1 black person, and they have denied all wrongdoing. Oh, it's not true. He is technically not the mayor and all that other nonsense, right? Now, y'all heard I said it was 1 black person on the council. And y'all already know what we want to call them, but we ain't going to do it. We're going to be nice today. Okay. So in New Bern, they also have a voluntary fire department. Mayor Braxton, he says that I serve on that fire department. Well, he says there's been a couple of times where calls have come in from black residents, like one where a black resident's house caught on fire. And so he says nobody was responding to it. So he went and fought the fire by himself. He said there was another time where he heard over the radio where a black woman was experiencing a heart attack. So he ran to the fire station because nobody was responding. And he said he tried to get the life-saving mechanism, the defibrillator, I guess it is. And it was locked because somebody had changed the locks. So he said he ran home to get his own personal machine. By the time he reached the black lady, he could not save her life. She died. And so he says he's heard a lot of calls go over the radio where the fire department, which it sounds like there's a lot of white people that serve on it, just simply was like, well, we're not going to go and do anything about it. And so, of course, he's talking about how New Bern is very racist. And he said he was also told when he won, oh, you know, their people aren't going to like that, or we got to get used to this type of thing, or basically like, listen, you'll never be the mayor here because we like our mayors a little on the pasty side. So again, he is suing, and the self-appointed council, they have lawyered up as well in order to try to keep the job. So if I didn't already say, they said that they have not had an election in 60 years. So that's just kind of how it runs. It sounds like they had one black mayor before, but he was there for a couple of months and was like, yeah, okay, I give up, because they did the same thing to him that they're doing to Mayor Braxton. And so I don't know what will take place there in New Bern, Alabama. But I want to say this, black people, this is 2023. And we are still hearing about things as though it was like 1823, right? Or 1923, where Jim Crow is in full effect, and white people, who are a very small minority, they got that proverbial whip in their hand, right? And you know, they're going to take it by any means necessary. So this is another case why we as black people in America, descendants of slavery, need our reparations, because it's still going on. Things are still being taken from us. That man, Mayor Braxton, is rightfully the mayor, and white folks are like, well, I know it's probably about 45 of us here, but we aren't going to let y'all do your job. And I want to say, black people, the fact that they say we ain't going to let y'all, you know, have any type of political power, y'all really need to be thinking, okay, well, what else do we need to do here to make our voices heard? So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of this, and for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra K Show, here on YouTube. Peace. Normally, when an election takes place,
This message is for my brothers and sisters from the U.S. Caribbean. If you miss the year of return to go to Ghana, don't worry. The president of Kenya, President William Ruto, is giving you lifetime free visa to enter Kenya, meaning every black person is welcome to Kenya. And he says it clear, Kenya is your home. It's the cradle of humanity. So no more excuses. You have a second option. Come to Africa.
6 former law enforcement officers in Mississippi, Rankin County, have pled guilty to federal civil rights violations in regard to an abusive case where they just beat 2 black men. The officers, Brett McAlpin, Jeffrey Middleton, Christian Dedman, Leonard Elwood, Daniel Updike, and Joshua Hartfield, made their initial court appearances for their involvement in the beating and sexual assault of Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker. The officers face charges of conspiracy against rights, deprivation of rights under the court of law, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and obstruction of justice. Additional charges of using firearms during the act of violence have been brought against Dedman and Elwood, which carry a potential life sentence if convicted. Jenkins and Parker filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Rankin County seeking $40 million in damages. This is Again, a story that we've been covering in a significant way, talking to the attorneys for the individuals involved. It is really a stunning case out of Mississippi. And again, and let me just read this here. This was the story from WLBT. It says 6 former Rankin County law enforcement officers walked into the federal courthouse in downtown Jackson as free men on Thursday. They were later escorted out of Judge Tom Lee's courtroom one by one in handcuffs and shackles in the custody of the U.S. Marshal's Office. Joining us right now to talk about this.
Africans, do you know why the main goal of colonization was to totally depopulate and involuntarily mix the entire African continent in order to repopulate it with other races? Well, I have a message for black people. So if you're not black, you can stay. But if you're black, I want you to listen and listen good. The reason why history repeats itself is because the world is cyclic and whatever goes around must come back around. There was a time that Africa ruled Europe for 800 years. And when I say ruled, I don't mean with guns and ammunition, but with knowledge, love, light, and black excellence. So now, I want you, black child, to know that we have cycled back to that time. A time when the kingdom of God belongs to the poor and the slaves, and mine is just to cut and raise. Yours is to step into your awareness of self. Yours is to go back within and get into union with your ancestors, your DNA. Get your ancestral membership back and remember all that you are. Because among you are the descendants of the likes of Mansa Musa, kings, queens. Among you are the DNA of the Talai, the tribe of the Lion of Judah. Among you are the inventors of the hieroglyphics. Among you are the architectures of the great pyramids, the incredible mathematics of the Ishango bone. Among you are the DNA of the Moors, the teachers of all modern European technology. Among you are the DNA that mentored great European philosophers like Pythagoras. As a black person, the DNA of slavery and colonization is not the only DNA that you carry, and they know that. The ancient, great African civilization is still present and imprinted deep in your soul. They can ban all the books and ruin all the universities, but your DNA is present. Your memory is present. Your ancestral knowledge is present deep in your soul and is yours forever. All I want to say is that there was a time they wanted to wipe you all off or mix you all up, so there was no one left to remember. There was a time that remembering who you are would have been a great crime, and so the ancestors had you forget to protect you. But I'm here to assure you that it is now safe to remember the African royalties among you. It is time for black people to experience the excellence of their own blackness. It is time to awaken the extreme talents and excellence that are deeply rooted within you. It is now safe to show the world who you are. Go within and remember. Join into one with your ancestors.
This is Dylan Roof, a self-confessed white supremacist and the absolute scum of the earth. Dylan had plans to instigate a race war in America, and he decided that the best way to do this was to kill as many African Americans as possible. On June 17, 2015, shortly after 8 p.m., Dylan Roof entered the Emmanuel African Methodist Church in downtown Charleston, where members of the congregation were having a Bible study and prayer service. The congregation welcomed him with open arms, and Dylan spent around 40 minutes with them, before eventually taking out his .45 caliber Glock handgun and opening fire on the prayer group. He ended up killing 9 members of the church and injuring an additional 3. All of his victims were African American, just as he had planned months prior. After his brutal attack, he calmly left the church and got into his black Hyundai vehicle, which sported the 3-state Confederate flag. Dylan Roof then took off and went on the run. The attack was treated as a hate crime, and the FBI was called in to assist with the manhunt. When he was eventually caught, they found a note in his vehicle with the names and addresses of other African American churches which he was planning on attacking next. It seemed that this brutal killer wasn't planning on stopping anytime soon.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
Please, Emmanuel Church, there's plenty of people shot down here. Please send somebody right away. Shot the pastor, he shot all the men in the church. Please come right away.
Okay, my partner's going to be getting some help on the way while I get a little bit more information from you, okay? Stay on the line with me. Are you safe?
He's still in here, I'm afraid. He's still in here. He's coming, please.
Okay, ma'am, are you able to if he's coming, I need you to be as quiet as possible. Is there something that you can hide under?
I'm under the table.
And where are the weapons now?
He's got it in his hand. He's reloading.
He's reloading? Okay, I need you to bear with me, okay? How many shots has he fired?
I don't know. There's so many. 3 different rounds are all kind of... God, please.
Africans do not like black Americans. So this is a fact.
No, it's an opinion, and a very asinine one at that. Because Africa is a continent with 54 countries and over 1.2 billion people. A statement such as Africans don't like African Americans is a very ludicrous statement because one, is perpetuating this narrative that there is beef and animosity between Africans and African Americans. And two, what that is doing is it's generalizing an entire continent based off of the actions of a couple of African hairdressers who live in America. And this is coming from someone who has traveled to 4 out of 54 of the African countries. Okay, so I went to Tanzania and I was treated like royalty. People were bowing at my feet. I felt like I was some type of long lost queen who had finally returned to the land. Let's talk about Ghana. Ghana was one of the most beautiful countries that I ever visited. I had a family who opened up their home to me. They were feeding me 3 times a day. We were living by the beach. They were doing so much to just make me feel welcomed and loved. So this is for all of my African American people. Go to Africa. Go to the different countries that are there. Learn some of the languages, learn some of the cultures there, because this is the thing. There are more similarities than differences between Africans and African Americans. And we need to kill this narrative. We need to break the plane and start the conversation so that we can get to know each other and enjoy the beautiful continent that we call the motherland, Africa, Azania. Okay? Peace and blessings, y'all.
They're always bothering somebody. Siempre jodiendo con Ángel, ¿verdad? Ya. Fucking with a little ass kid. That's what you can see young cops. Yeah, I'm recording, of course. You're a little black kid. The hell you think I'm not?
Come here. Why can I go to my house?
You know, you gotta record them. Next thing you see that little kid on the news. Stop your daughter.
Be ready.
You go home before they fuck with you. Of course I'm gonna record you, you know? They do something stupid. You see how they left you alone because I'm recording?
If white men were going to do something about racism, you had 400 years. You could have done it. Okay? So
I am 58 years old.
I'm shutting you down right now.
I am not responsible for anyone
the
before
point is, I'm so tired of just engaging in this conversation and this deep hurt that Andrew has about talking about racism. And Chip, God bless you, but I'm going to put everybody in the thing. all of us white people do this. I don't care if we say we're abolitionists. I don't care if we say we're progressive. I don't care if we're literally members of the KKK. Every single white person upholds these systems and structures of white supremacy, and we have got to talk about it.
Now, like I was saying, hoping you saw what Africa's doing. And Africa's on the come up. I mean, a lot of people might not see it yet, but if you research enough, you see that Africa is really on the come up, and there's so many opportunities here. I've been here for a short period of time, and I already see so many opportunities that I would not even have a chance of tackling in America. And it's only going to get better. So while everything's low and not everybody's flooding over here right now, it's time to start figuring stuff out and seeing if you can get your piece of this pie over here too, while helping the land and helping the people that need help over here. So, I hope you guys watch those videos. I hope it triggers something, man, to let you know that, hey, Africa loves you, man. I have only felt love since I got here. I tell you that. I mean, no matter what anybody says, what you hear, man, only love. And as far as Ghana, only love. I have not felt anything different. So, hey, you guys think about that, and I'll be back with the next video, all right? Yep.